Hey, what's going on, everyone? My name is There Were Dragons, or Chase. This is going to be one of the first videos that I've ever done like this. Typically, the videos I do are just my music, but, I've been thinking that I really wanted to kind of get into more YouTube type stuff, I guess. I feel like over the course of the last few years, I've learned a lot from school, a lot from YouTube as well, and I feel like I'm at a point where I've kind of hit this roadblock with my music, and I feel like starting YouTube, just kind of maybe going back to some basics and some tutorial type structured videos. I don't know, maybe some fun things will just be happening. So yeah, the first thing that I wanted to do today was I actually wanted to talk about sidechaining, because this is something that's been so big for me for some reason. I whenever I first started making music, I really didn't know how to sidechain, and whenever I was just like my very first tracks ever, I would show them to people in Discord and stuff, and they would say, "Oh, you need to add sidechain. Just sidechain that." I didn't know what that was, so I looked it up and I saw what sidechaining was doing. I eventually learned this in school. I saw what the sidechain was doing, so I would try to replicate it. And at the time, I was using FL Studio. I'm currently on Ableton now. With FL, I was just, doing volume automation, which is working fine. There's also another way that I was doing sidechaining with, I think I was doing it with a compressor in FL Studio as well, but I really can't remember. But anyways, it never really sounded as good as I wanted it to, just the sidechain. I don't know, I probably don't have any examples from FL, but, that being said, I knew how to do it. I knew what sidechaining was, but I wasn't getting the clean results I was wanting. Just over the course of the next few years, I kept trying to make it better. I kept trying to refine the way I was sidechaining. Eventually, I moved to Ableton, and then I was using the compressor for sidechaining, which if anyone knows what I'm talking about, I know that's an older way of doing it. It's definitely not a cleaner way of doing it, but you don't know till you know. So that's kind of why I wanted to make this video, though. I feel like this is something that could help a lot of people out. I feel like this is something that definitely helped me out. This isn't my thing, obviously. I think I actually learned this from Barely Alive in one of their tutorials. It's from 3 years ago, though. So that's kind of why I was thinking, well, maybe something coming up more recent might help, because I will say it took me a while to find this video. I'll also put a link in the description for Barely Alive's video. But yeah, I guess we should just get right on into it. Also, just a disclaimer, I'm practicing. So yeah, quality-wise, I take it how you want, I guess. I don't know. So here's the track. We'll just listen to it. So I actually have the compressor up. I was going to show how I typically was sidechaining prior to this, and then I'll show you what it sounds like with the new way of sidechaining. So I'll play it first without any sidechain so you can just hear. So sidechaining, what it's basically doing, anytime the kick and the snare hit, it basically ducks the volume of everything else. So the kick and the snare have more presence, hit a little harder. And so this is without any sidechaining happening. All right, so it sounds all right. Maybe if you don't know what you're looking for, maybe it sounds okay. We can always make it sound better. And so here is with sidechaining with the compressor. This is just Ableton's stock compressor. I don't know if this is the correct way of the old way. This is how I was doing it. So this is what it sounds like with this. So, it sounds a little clearer. I'll do comparison. See, without the sidechain, it sounds a little weird. Then you can very clearly hear really clearly hear the kick for sure, just kind of having more power to it. So that's the old way of doing it. That's how I was doing it. You know, sounds all right. No true complaints if that's all you're doing. It's doing what you need it to do, so that's good. But this is with ShaperBox. This is more specifically with Volume Shaper and only Volume Shaper. It is a part of ShaperBox too. So this is what this sounds like, and I'll have the plugin up so you can see what it's doing as well. So as you can see with that one, it's just a lot more clean. Also, sorry if you heard some crackle and pops. If you didn't notice, my CPU was in fact going crazy. But yeah, using ShaperBox for your volume automation, it really just does it so clean. You know, it's just such a clean thing. Like, there's no complaints. There's not really anything else I have to do. You just put it on and it's done. And I do have this saved as a preset, so that's pretty much all I have to do. I just basically set up this trigger, and then I just hit the preset that I've made, and then good to go. So I'm going to go ahead and delete this, actually. I'll just delete the entire trigger here, and then I'm going to delete this compressor and ShaperBox. That way I can do this fully, and you can kind of see the process. So this way of sidechaining is going to be how a lot of more known names are doing it. Like, obviously Barely Alive. I'm pretty sure there's another artist on YouTube. He's oversampled. On his artist name is Aiden Williams though. I've learned so much from him. He's honestly one of my favorite artists / YouTube channels for help, just overall personality, just vibes all around. Such a cool dude. So yeah, go check out Oversampled as well as Mayflower. Just calling him out right now. Yeah, as far as this goes, this is going to be how a lot of people that you may know, a lot of artists you may know, are doing it. That being said, there's probably a reason they're doing it. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to, as you can see, I have these two groups here. These are kind of just doing nothing, so ignore those. But these two groups, group and then my drums. Basically, what you want to do is anything that has your music in it, anything that you're wanting to be sidechained, go ahead and group that all together, like I've done here. And then this is kind of the other part of this. Whenever you're doing it like this, so I actually don't know how. I'm pretty sure Barely Alive covers it, but I didn't really pay too much attention to it because it wasn't relevant for me. Because I wanted to start doing my drums like this. Typically, what I would do is I would just take the audio of the drum, like a kick, and I would just have it on the channel like this. So for example, if I take this snare, I would typically just be doing this. Oh, nice. No, maybe. So that's kind of typically how I do my drums, right? Just taking the audio, plopping it on the track like this, on an audio track. And then what I typically do from there is I would just group them like this and then call it drums. And then this would be my drums. And then I'd usually have everything sidechaining to this, right? I'd call this drums. And then for my sidechain, I would typically just sidechain the frequencies that would be kick snare. And then I would just sidechain this whole channel like that. But from what I've been hearing pretty much universally, better way of doing this is going to be with the drum rack. And I will admit, after it takes some getting used to, because I come from FL, and I pretty much did that audio thing in FL too. So that's just kind of how I've been doing it for years. So it's taken some getting used to doing it like this, but I do think it's worth it. But it's basically just taking the drum rack and then just putting that on MIDI and then using that. So as you can see in the drum rack, I have my kick and my snare. So those are the only two sounds that are in this drum rack. So if I open this up, as you can see, that's all we have because that's all I've loaded into it. But I can load in a lot of different things. So, you know, you can have a lot of things going on here. But it's a lot quicker to edit your drums. It's a lot quicker to add in different sounds. So let's say later down the line in this track, I wanted to change the kick and the snare. All I'd have to do is take whatever kick I wanted. I'll go ahead and put it here, and then I'll move my snare over here, put my kick next to this one. So now we have this and this kick, and then a snare. We'll just take this one here, so I'll put it next to the other snare. And we have this. So I have 2 kicks, 2 snares. And so let's say later down the line I wanted to change up the drums, change the sounds. Now I can do that. Instead of having this line down here, I'd just be dealing with this. Oh wait, sorry, this. So now it'd be... Yeah, but anyways. So yeah, that being said, I would highly recommend trying drums like this if you're on Ableton. Again, it takes some getting used to, but I think it's well worth it. I think it'll just save you some time in the long run. Like once you get it down, once you get everything going, you're not looking for anything. You just know what's happening. I really think it'll just be overall beneficial. But anyways, sidechaining. So to get started, like I said, you'd go ahead and create a drum group here. And then you'd also create a music group. My drum group really is only involving a few things, but specifically on these, I really just have kick and snare here, just so that these are the only 2 things being triggered in the sidechain. So in your music group, I'll go ahead and name this music so it's easy to follow. You'd want to go ahead and create another MIDI track. This does require ShaperBox, so that is something that you'd have to get. I'll put a link in the description for that as well. Now we have our MIDI track. This is in the music, right? So in this music, in your actual group, your music group, you're going to want to go ahead and add ShaperBox in there. So I'll go ahead and put ShaperBox just on the actual music group, and I'm going to go ahead and leave that alone for now. Now this MIDI trigger, you can go ahead and rename this to trigger, just so you know what it is. You want to go ahead and change it to in the drum rack that you want it to be triggering from. So in my case, this is drum rack 7. So I'll go ahead and change this to drum rack 7. And then for your output, you want to go ahead and do music. And then down here in this little bar, it'll say ShaperBox. If it doesn't, you may have something else on there. You may be, may want to try again. But yeah, once you see ShaperBox on there, you're pretty much good to go with just setting that up. So it's super easy. And now if we pull up ShaperBox again, what you're going to want to do is you're just going to click on the volume, and you're going to want to just create a shape like this. You want to leave these at the very top, because if you don't, if you drag this all the way down, wherever it ends, it'll end at no volume, which you don't want. So you want to keep this high so it ends high. In order to create these dots, honestly, it was a little tricky at first. Click once and then right click to turn it into one of these, and then you can double click to get rid of it. But one click for the curve, double click to get rid of it, and then a right click to turn it into a point. So for this, we're just going to put a point here. I'm going to put a point here. I'm going to drop it all the way down. And so we have this now. Now I'm going to add in just a curve, and I'm just going to take this down to like here, right? So now we have something like this. You want to change this to 4/4, and then your MIDI trigger. You want to change this to on one shot. After that, you're pretty much good. So we'll go ahead and play it. See what it sounds like. And while you're here, if there's something you don't like, you can go ahead. You can do whatever you want. Barely Alive was just saying, I'm pretty sure he was just saying mess around with this. But in order to get the sound right, I've been messing around with just everything, just kind of tweaking stuff. Which, pro tip, that's just what you got to do. If you ever don't know what something does, if you ever don't know what something's gonna do, don't be afraid of it. Because at the end of the day, if it doesn't sound good, you could just not do it. But the only way to learn plugins, the only way to learn a lot of this stuff is going to be to just be like flipping knobs, just twisting, just weird stuff, just finding sounds that might be good. So in this situation, in order to tweak this, maybe I wouldn't do anything too crazy to this because it sounds all right just as is. It's a pretty easy thing. It's much easier than the compressor. You'd move this around, maybe get the curve how you'd want it. So yeah, that's pretty much how you do that. And then what you can do, it's a pretty easy way to save presets. All you have to do is do save, name it. I just named it Sidechain, and then save. Then all you have to do is create your trigger track over here. So let me show you how I do it. Let's just assume I already have my trigger track. I'll go ahead and just put ShaperBox on there. Hit here. My presets, Sidechain. I'm done. That's pretty much all I had to do. I just had to put ShaperBox on there, open up preset. So yeah, that's pretty much going to be it for this one. Like I said, I'll put links in the description for Barely Alive's video, as well as ShaperBox. And I hope this helped. I hope this helped someone. I know a lot of people might already know this, but I was just thinking about it, and I didn't know this. And I've been making music for a long time now. I think I'm on my 5th year making music. Almost 6, wow. But yeah, that's I really think it would help someone out, so I hope it does. Let me know in the comments if you found this video helpful, if this is something that you want to see more from me. I've been in this like creative block, and I feel like this will be a good way for me to kind of get out of it. But that being said, it's also kind of one of those things where I don't even know what I know. So if you have anything that you want to see, if there's anything that you think might help you, let me know. Put it in the comments, give me suggestions, things like that, because even if it's something that I don't know, we'll just learn it together. I'll do a video, I'll be learning it, and we'll get better. We'll just keep getting better together. But yeah, this was There Were Dragons. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Hope you're eating well, drinking well, and sleeping well. And I'll catch you in the next one. Hey everyone, There Were Dragons here again. I was just getting done editing that video. And so I just wanted to say, a couple final things here. I just wanted to say thank you very much for watching if you made it this far. I don't know where this is all going to go. I really just want to help other people. I want to help teach what I've learned, as well as learn further than what I have. I think that's a big reason why I'm having so much beat block, so much creativity trouble, outside of other situations. But I'm excited. I think this could go far. I think it could be something really good and helpful for others and myself, and just, have something to stay consistent with, which would be really nice. But only other thing I was wanting to say, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. All of those things, so I've heard, really help people out. So I assume it would help me out. But yeah, as far as comments go, suggestions would be crazy. Anything you would want to see, anything you'd want me to do, anything you might think that I could improve on even, but just anything really. But yeah, that's it for me. I'll see you in the next one. I don't know how often I'm going to upload, potentially once a week starting out. I don't want to kill myself. This is the first time I've ever edited a video before. This is the first time I've done any of this before, so we'll just see how it goes. I hope you like it. Oh, I forgot to mention, I'm also on Spotify. You can follow me on Spotify, SoundCloud, Apple Music, Amazon Music. Just anywhere where you listen to music, there I am. Of course, my name is There Were Dragons on everything. But yeah, I'll catch you in the next one.